So yesterday, Electronic Arts, otherwise known as EA, they announced they're shutting down Visceral Games, which is one of their own studios. They are known for developing games like Dead Space, Dante's Inferno, Battlefield Hardline, I believe. That was the one that came out before Battlefield 1. And they were currently working on a Star Wars game directed by Amy Hennig, formerly of Naughty Dog, who was responsible for the Uncharted series. And I guess that game is not canceled, but it's being reworked with other studios under new direction. So I guess that means Amy Hennig is no longer part of it. And I don't know the full story behind this, but a lot of people were saying that sucks that a game that is single player got canceled because it's single player. But I've been seeing other things around. Like I saw a screenshot from Twitter from Jason Schreier. I'm not exactly sure where he's from, but I know I've heard his name around before, so I know he's like a pretty relevant person in the industry, I guess. And he tweeted, "I feel like I should clarify that despite today's hot takes, Visceral's game was not canned because it was single player, from what I've heard." And then someone replied to him saying, "So the EA exec makes a weird statement then? Why?" And then Jason Schreier replied, "Because investors don't like hearing the project was a mess." So it sounds like it's possible the game could have got canned, or maybe it's just getting reworked somewhere else, because the game might have been in kind of a development hell. Maybe it wasn't going where they wanted to. Maybe there was differences of opinion between EA and Visceral. That could have been it. We don't necessarily know the full story. I don't know, but I kind of tend to believe that I don't think it was necessarily canceled because it was just single player. Because there's plenty of single player games that come out that, like, there's plenty of just single player games come out. Even if they have multiplayer, like Uncharted, they have multiplayer games. I don't really play them. I did play some of Uncharted 4 because there's some trophies attached to it. I was trying to get to Platinum, but I gave up on that. And there's other games that have multiplayer that I've tried and haven't really enjoyed. But even like some games, like last year's Doom, it came out, it had both single player and multiplayer, but the multiplayer, I guess, wasn't very good, so everyone really cared about the single player. But there is still just single player only games coming out. Like plenty of open world games have only single player. They might have some multiplayer elements. And then like Wolfenstein games, the Wolfenstein, the New Order, and now the new Colossus. And there was the Old Blood, that like DLC expansion thing, but it'll stand alone, so I don't consider it DLC, whatever you want to call it. But those are all first person shooters that don't have any multiplayer. But I think this might show, if one of the reasons why it was because it was a single player linear game, if that's one of the reasons why it was considered to be canceled or something like that, then that sucks. That kind of shows a shift in the video game landscape and what's popular. Games that are popular nowadays are just big open world games, which I enjoy here and there, but I feel like just having every single game that it'll just get tired of them, because it's like, all right, big, huge map, go do the things. Sometimes you just want a game that's maybe like 8 to 12 hours. That's just a big, solid, big story. You can actually have you can tell a really engaging story and have really well pacing, because you can't, you can, like in Uncharted, you can stop and explore around the area to look for some stuff, but it's still, you just go through the game, and like with open world game, you can do a mission, then you go and dick around for 12 hours and go do a next mission. So it's hard to have agency in the story that way. It really depends how you play. But I do like those games, but I don't necessarily know. It could just be because they're not selling as well, or maybe even they do sell out, they're just not. I know everyone, like microtransactions and stuff like that, and DLC is controversial, especially microtransactions. But I feel like games like that, they're harder to sell microtransactions for. Definitely with multiplayer games, like, even if Star Wars Battlefront 2, is coming out, it's going to have a single player campaign. But I'm sure the microtransactions and all that stuff is not going to affect that. It's just going to affect the multiplayer, because that's what people are going to spend the most time with. Because I'm sure the single player campaign is only going to be like 6 or 8 hours long, which it sucks, but you don't want a game to oversell it, to say it's welcome. That's the only part of that game that I'm excited for. So I'm probably not going to buy it day one. I'm probably going to wait until it gets cheaper, because I'm probably never going to touch the multiplayer. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I did play a little bit of the original, the reboot original one multiplayer, because I bought it on sale for like $6, and it wasn't even my money that I used, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, but basically, so I don't know what this means. I don't know if the game was just like in really bad shape, or maybe it was just a mix of that, and also the fact that there's just the gaming landscape and the industry is changing, and they can't afford these big budget games that they can't get any other monetization into, which might suck. It might seem a little schemy, and maybe they should dial back on those types of games. Don't put as much money into them. Don't have, make them smaller development teams, have a little more focused, and you don't need to spend $200 million on a budget. I mean, especially for a license like Star Wars, that's pretty easy to sell. And, any game that's pretty much based off an existing IP, whether it was a video game IP or, movie franchise. I mean, it's more than just a movie franchise, Star Wars now, but you know what I mean. It's based off an existing franchise. People know what Star Wars is. It's pretty easy to sell. So, I don't know. I think big companies need to rethink these games, and maybe a game could sell well, but it can still be considered a bomb because they spent way too much money on it. And I don't necessarily know if these single player linear games need these huge, massive budgets. But I have no idea how the video game business works. I don't know how business works. I'm not a businessman. But that's basically my opinion on this. I'm kind of upset because I was actually really looking forward to this. It's going to be like a Star Wars Uncharted kind of thing because, it was directed by Amy Hennig, and I like Star Wars games. And I just finished playing through and platinuming The Force Unleashed. Actually, gameplay here. This is just gameplay I captured for this video. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please come back for more videos. I've been kind of talking about a whole bunch of topics, and I've been trying to make more videos recently because I really enjoy doing this. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.